Just imagine, you are a scientist working for the premier space organization of the country. Suddenly, police arrive at your doorstep and arrest you, make you wait in the police station the entire night, and then present you in the court next day, only to tell you that you will be placed in judicial custody for transferring space technology secrets to enemy country, Pakistan. This is exactly what happened with Nambi Narayan. You must have heard of him when actor Madhavan announced the film Rocketry based on the life of Nambi Narayan. Having been employed with ISRO or the Indian Space Research Organization, Nambi Narayanan was well acquainted with great scientists like Vikram Sarabhai, Satish Dhawan, U.R. Rao and even former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Sarabhai offered him leave for higher education if he made it to any of the Ivy League universities. Subsequently, Narayanan earned a NASA fellowship and was accepted into the Princeton University in 1969. He completed his master's program there in chemical rocket propulsion under Professor Luigi Crocco in a record 10 months. Despite being offered a job in the US, Narayanan returned to India with expertise in liquid propulsion at a time when Indian rocketry was still solely dependent on solid propellants. Narayanan introduced the liquid-fueled rocket technology in India in the early 1970s when APJ Abdul Kalam's team was working on solid motors. He foresaw the need for liquid-fueled engines for ISRO's future civilian space programs and received encouragement from the then ISRO chairman Satish Dhawan and his successor U.R. Rao. Narayanan developed liquid propellant motors, first building a successful 600 kilogram thrust engine in the mid-1970s and thereafter moving on to bigger engines. This is the same Nambi Narayanan who was put behind judicial custody for a span of 11 months, and the news spread like wildfire that this man was a traitor, a spy, who successfully transferred Indian rocket secrets to Pakistan. How did this come about? 10 days before the arrest of Nambi Narayanan, Kerala police arrested two Maldivian women, Fauzia Hassan and Mariam Rashida, who were supposedly spies of another nation and supposedly found in their possession secret images of ISRO's rocket engine. Apart from Nambi Narayanan, K. Chandrasekharan, the Indian scientist or Indian agent for Russian space agency Glavkosmos, and another ISRO scientist D. Sasikumaran were also arrested. The Intelligence Bureau of Kerala was brought into the picture and they started digging into this matter. And the Hotel Madras International located in Chennai was brought into the limelight, where the Intelligence Bureau accused that these five included the three scientists and two women met to exchange money in return of secrets. Intelligence Bureau of Kerala also framed the Inspector General of Kerala Police, Raman Srivastav, because the guest register of the hotel had the name of Raman Srivastav or R.S. Srivastav in it. The case was under interrogation and the prime accused, Nambi Narayanan, charged under the Official Secrets Act, was tormented physically and mentally when he was in custody. He was continuously beaten when false information was tried to be extracted from him. He was asked about the other scientists who could be possibly involved in this, but he had nothing to say as he himself was not involved. He was made to stand for 30 hours consecutively because he refused to answer. In the world outside, there was huge ruckus created by the people and media shocked over the fact that they had a spy in their land. He was met with protests and made to take the lie detector test several times, but Nambi Narayanan passed it each time. The case, looking at no end, was transferred to the CBI or the Central Bureau of Investigation, after which the tables turned. Shekhar Gupta, you must know him, a renowned journalist with a print, talks about this popular case in his segment called as Cut the Clutter. He tells about not so trivial incident where he met APJ Abdul Kalam while on a flight and he asked him his opinion about the same. APJ said, "There is nothing secret about this secret. The project is a transparent one and there could be no possible transfer of secrets." Yes, that's exactly true. The project Nambi Narayanan was working on was called as the Vikas project and was a completely transparent one. Now, why did India keep it transparent? It's simply because the project was under the scrutiny of G7 nations, or the project was scrutinized by the G7 nations. And if non-transparent in nature, we would attract sanctions from these G7 nations. Just think, why would a scientist sell information that is not even a secret? Simply understanding, India was yet to develop the Vikas engine. Yet to develop. So why would Nambi sell information about something which was not even developed yet? Kerala Intelligence Bureau stated that Pakistan sent their most popular nuclear scientist, Mohammad Abdus Salam, to India as a spy. Just imagine Pakistan sending their most popular nuclear scientist of all the people and of all the spies they had. Next, the hotel guest room had the name of Chandrasekharan, on whose name the rooms were booked. And only after thorough investigation, the CBI proved that none of them was the actual scientist we are talking about. Rather, these were all random people who incidentally had the same damn name. Nambi Narayanan got a pay of rupees 7,300 as a scientist. And when CBI investigated if this guy had some luxury at his disposal, they realized that everything he had at his home or even his lifestyle was well below the limit of his salary. The accused Maldivian women, when looked up and investigated if they had money with them, which allegedly they got from the deal, had absolutely nothing. Instead, they had sold some of their jewelry and even borrowed money for their stay in India. The Kerala police also alleged that the ISRO scientist K. Sasikumaran had met another ISI agent called Zuhaira in 1990 at the hotel Fort Manor in Thiruvananthapuram. But when investigated, it was proved that on those dates the hotel was under construction. It was not even fully constructed. The police had also alleged that these documents were being sent on a plane hailing from Russia and which was travelling from Thiruvananthapuram. But again, when investigated by the CBI, no such entry was made in the custom records because allegedly the records were 40 kilos. CBI had done its job well, and Nambi Narayanan was now set free on bail after 50 days of his stay in jail. After his retirement in 2001, the Kerala government, ordered by the National Human Rights Commission, paid him a compensation of 10 lakh rupees. In 2018, the Supreme Court awarded him a further 50 lakh rupees. In 2020, the Pinarayi Vijayan government in Kerala gave him another 1.3 crore rupees as compensation. Indian government has also honored him with a prestigious Padma Bhushan award. The reason why this case got attention was in April 2021, a committee called the Justice D.K. Jain Committee was appointed to probe further into this matter. And in June, we had the court holding guilty 18 officers who falsely accused Nambi Narayanan in the case and ruined his entire career. Yes, ruined his entire career. Also ruined great developments that Indian space program would undertake only and only a decade later. Though Nambi Narayanan was restored his job, he was never given the position he was holding, and he spent rest of his life at a desk job in ISRO, Bengaluru. Coming to what you're all thinking, who would do this and why? The most popular theory is related to the politics in Kerala. Mariam Rashida was one of the Maldivian women who was arrested in the case allegedly on the charges of overstaying. But that's actually not true. She had gone to the police station seeking help of the officer to help her fly out on that day as it was a bandh on that day. The officer sought sexual favors from her that she denied, and in consequence she was jailed. The police wanted to do a background check on her, and in her diary they found the number of D. Sasikumaran, and she had this number as his wife was a doctor and she had gone to see the doctor. That's it. The Congress faction led by A.K. Antony wanted to topple the Karunakaran government in Kerala that was ruling, and they used this case in a beautiful manner to do so. But they wanted a solid connection, so they used the name of the Kerala IGP Raman Srivastava, who we spoke previously in the case. With this, the Karunakaran government resigned and the purpose was served easily. You know, in Kerala, scams and falls are a recurrent theme. For example, the gold scam, the scholar scam, etc. While another theory spoke about how US did not want India to get better with its rocket technology like the Vikas engine before them, and used this opportunity to stop India from getting ahead. Going by Nambi's book Ready to Fire, How India and I Survived the ISRO Spy Case, he believes more in the Kerala politics theory. Narayanan is 79 years old and continues to wait for justice. While a lot of people believe in the reality, no one will be able to repay for the predicaments he faced in his entire life. Nambi Narayanan sir, if you're watching this video, we salute your bravery and courage. And that's it for the first ever video of the News Hamster mini doc series, where we present big and huge topics / cases / theories etc. in a short and a crisp manner. Tell us what you felt in the comment section and tell us what more do you want to see in this segment. If you like the video, press the like button, subscribe to News Hamster and share the video so that everybody knows how politics can end up spoiling the lives of the greatest people. Thanks for watching. Jai Hind.